Hello and welcome back to part 2 of Parallel Worlds Let's Play. Um, so yesterday there had some issues with the shovel. I think those are fixed. I also managed to fix the bug where the title screen got dark when you saved and quit. At least I think I fixed it. It works, but I haven't had a lot of time to try and test all the edge cases. So I guess let's just jump back into it. I managed to get my save back to pretty much right where I was when it crashed, so we'll just continue from there. So here, I'll just show real quick that the shovel does work. And then I'm going to show off one change that I made pretty recently, where now bombs don't hurt you. So you can bomb jump without taking damage. You still take damage if you miss the jump and you fall into the hole, you take a hit there. But there's a couple of spots where you got to do a lot of bomb jumping. There's one spot in the parallel tower, and then there's also the halls of pain. And both of those are just pretty awful, especially if you get almost all the way to the end and then fall in the hole and then have to do the whole thing all over again. So I'm not going to collect all the rupees I need right now. I'll just grab enough for 2 or 3 upgrades at the fairy pond, and we'll come back for the rest later. Because the wishing well is really annoying to do repeatedly without the Pegasus boots. So we'll do that after the first dungeon. Alright, so that's good for now. Huh, well, that was interesting. Not really sure what happened there. I'll have to play back the video and see where that bush came from. Maybe... does bombing a bush make the bushes fly? Oh, yeah, that's definitely a glitch. That's probably related to the fast ROM, because that looks really similar to another bug that that I've already found. Well, Con found it and fixed it in the fast ROM patch. So that definitely looks like another one of those. Anyway, oh, wait, I was gonna... Let's see. I'm gonna go get some more bombs because we're gonna go to the secret meadow, pick up a second bottle so we can carry a couple of fairies. And while I'm there, I will go ahead and do the first half, the short half of the Halls of Pain. The second half, I probably need more bombs, so I'm not going to do that one yet. Although it might be interesting to try. Yeah, you know, I'll give it a shot, because if I can, then that means that I can get the Cane of Burna before the first dungeon, which would be pretty cool. So between last night and today, I've made a whole bunch of changes to a handful of different things. So there's a fairly decent chance that I may have caused a whole new bug or two, and we might get some crashes again today. I hope not. But I'd like to make it through the stream without crashing. I need that bomb, dang it. Oh well. I can dig up bombs with a shovel. That's not a big deal. That's interesting. So apparently these tiles are infinitely diggable. That's interesting. Might have to look into that. As those should probably be hard tiles like this. About the flowers. Okay, so the flowers are normal. Okay, so Lost Woods, if I remember correctly, it's down, up, right, down. Let me see if it's the same here. Okay, so that one is hard tile. So is that. Huh. That's really interesting. Stuttering. See if I can close out of a couple of things and see if that helps at all. I don't have much open right now, so. So the trick here is I'm lining up the top of his ears with the top of the platform, which then the bottom of the bomb's shadow should line up with the bottom of the platform. And then you get across. And you do have to start holding down once you've made it across the platform. Otherwise you'll overshoot, and that's no good. This is the last one, actually, so yeah, okay, good. So I don't actually have enough bombs for that, but come to think of it, I can still come back before we take on not Din's Catacombs, before we take on Nayru's Bay. So we can still get the can of Burna. So that's a little bit cheap, I guess, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'll just sit here and dig to our heart's content. I wonder if the same is true over here. Nope. Okay, there's one. Huh. So I wonder what's different. I'll have to trace this out and see what's going on there. So, if I manage to figure that out, then that won't be in the final version. But if not, then there you go. Now you've got at least one glitch that is actually beneficial. Okay, so now on to the Cannon Oasis to go pick up the Zora's Scale. One of the things I was messing around with today was the soldier speed, trying to tweak it and find a good happy medium. And I ended up causing some pretty amazing glitches with that, just playing around with different values. Oh wait, I can't get that one yet. Yeah, I'll have to post a video of that. It's pretty hilarious, actually. But it looks like they're behaving pretty well now. And if I remember correctly, you should be able to get to run away from pretty much all of the soldiers now. Except, well, even still, the... The red soldier with the spear is very difficult to run from. But but you are still just a hair faster than him, so you can run away. And all the others, like the blue soldiers that you just saw, I mean, they're all just a piece of cake. You run circles around the blue soldiers. Let's go. Is up, right, left, up, I think. Might have that backwards. Oh, there we go. Let's see here. There are fairies in here. I need another one. Piece of heart up here in the cave. Here's the part that gets really annoying without the Pegasus boots. Although actually, maybe it's actually the same. Because normally I'll run back and forth with the Pegasus boots, and I have to go all the way down to the door a couple of times before it'll let me do it again. But yeah, actually, it looks like must be on a timer then, and not, I thought it was a step counter, but it looks like it's actually a timer, so I could have actually gone and gotten all the rest of those rupees to finish this all off. So you need a total of 1,400 rupees to get all of the upgrades, so you actually want 1,450 if you get them before you get the scale, so you've got the extra 50 to pick up the Zora scale. But since I'm here, I'm just going to get bombs for now, so I can do the bomb jumping, and then we'll head back to Halls of Pain. curious. If I just do this, will it eventually let me? Yeah, okay. So yeah, you can just hold up on the D-pad and then eventually it'll let you do it again. Or it'll bring up the dialogue automatically. I'll get one upgrade of arrows. You know, now I'm curious. If I just stand here, does the dialogue show up? Oh, it does. So you don't even actually have to do anything. So you can ignore what I said earlier about this being annoying without the Pegasus boots. I guess I just never bothered to really figure out how that particular dialogue works, so you can just stand there. Okay. So that's cool, I guess. So let's go ahead and get this parallel tower key. And then we'll go get a piece of heart to complete a heart container. So a really interesting color palette here. I don't know what's up with that. And you know what, I really don't feel like going through that room with all the pits in it, so we're just gonna go ahead and save warp back to our house. And this is actually probably a good test. If I did my job right, this should be, yes, good. So let's see here. We'll start from my house. I'm trying to remember what I did and didn't do last time. Just real quick. There is a piece of heart down here that I'm going to get. That's a slightly buggy doorway. So those doorways where you come out of the doorway properly, but then the tiles around the doorway don't have the right priority. There's a handful of those in the game, and I have not figured out what the cause of that is. And I'm not really sure if I'm going to take the time to figure it out. Because if it's anything like that staircase bug, yeah, that was awful. So I don't know. I might take a look at it. Chances are I probably won't. I'm trying to get at least a few rupees. I need to go to the treasure chest game, and I think it's 30 rupees per play. I want to have at least enough rupees for 3 plays. Usually I get decent enough luck that 3 plays worth is enough to pay for itself. At least enough times to get the piece of heart. This guard right here. That guy was such a sneaky little bugger. And yeah, so I'm just really glad that I slowed those guys down, because especially those red spear guys, I mean, they were just awful. See, there we go. Games play for themselves, or pay for themselves. Overall, I get a decent RNG. Oh, come on. I say that, and then I get a heart and a bomb. Great. On RNG, don't fail me now. There we go. See what I tell you. 3 games. 6 hearts and what was it, 40 bombs? Yeah. I think we got enough to go back to the Halls of Pain and pick up the Can of Burna. Just because I'm really close right now, and actually I could have done this earlier, but I'm going to just check one more time, now that it's even darker. I'll wait for a couple more minutes in-game. I'll wait for it to get darker. There we go. So it's 10 p.m. right now. I'll just check this one more time. I'm fairly certain it worked properly, but that's what we're testing for. Plus, if there's another game crashing bug, there we go, so that looks perfect. If there's another game crashing bug, it never hurts to save often. And then we come out and it's still 10 o'clock, perfect. There we go. Actually, I'm curious if he could knock me across the pit. I don't think he can, though, so I'm just gonna try it. So this is the part that, if you're watching this on YouTube later, you probably want to skip forward about 3 or 4 minutes, because I need 1,000 rupees. Because I need 1,400 total, but I've already gotten 4 of the upgrades, so still need 1,000. So I'll be here a while. This does go a bit faster with being able to break the pots with your sword, as opposed to having to pick them up and throw them like you did in the original game. So I'm still pretty new to this whole live streaming thing, and still getting used to open broadcasting software and all that stuff. And so, fun tip from a noob: if you are getting into this stuff yourself, don't set your start streaming and stop streaming hotkeys to single key presses. And also, don't just leave OBS running in the background if you're not using it. I came in this morning to find out that I had been streaming all night long. Just streaming a blank screen for 10 hours at 720p. So, I have no idea what kind of bandwidth that looked like, but although, frankly, it being a blank screen, I'll bet the interframe compression was pretty amazing, so maybe it wasn't that big of an amount of bandwidth after all, I don't know. But yeah, probably don't want to do that. So it's usually a good idea to do like a multi-key hotkey, like a Control-Shift something. I'm using Control-Shift Home and Control-Shift End for start and stop. But yesterday I was just using Home and End. And yeah, like I said, that didn't turn out so well. That's not the first time that I've done that, so I should have figured it out by now, but usually I figure it out within like a few seconds that, oh, look, I started a stream. But last night yeah, came back in 10 hours. Alright, one more time and we're out of here. Perfect. And once again, actually, that actually looked kind of like it might be related to the speed changes I made, because that bomb blast really knocked that guy back. But yeah, I have a feeling that it's probably a fast ROM bug. So yes, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep abusing this for the time being. I mean, why not, right? It's there, it works. Might as well. At least it's not quite as bad as the, there's a really nice ROM hack of Zelda 1 called The Legend of Link. And there's actually a bug in that one where you can collect a piece of heart over and over and over and over and over again. And so you can actually max out your heart containers just by collecting the same heart piece over and over again. So, my bug's not quite that bad. Not quite that bad. Okay, so... I did this one right. Nope. This is the hardest jump, I think, of all of these, because all the rest of them are pretty much the same. Come on, do this. There we go. So once you get your bomb jumps down, perfect every time, Halls of Pain really aren't so bad. So I am going to go ahead and save again. And then we are off to Nayru's Bay. So yeah, I think I'm happy with that change of disabling the bomb jump damage. If you happen to have your bomb jumps down perfect, then sure, you can go right ahead and do that without, that it being a problem, but I just, my first several times through the game, that was just a really, really awful part. And just having to do that, I mean, I hate it when you get sections that are just so frustrating that the game just stops being fun. Because I actually really enjoy this game. But there are those sections where, well, so basically what it was that the first several times I played through the game, I knew it was super hard, so I went ahead and just used cheats and save states. And then I didn't feel bad about the game being hard, I just figured, okay, well, when I get to one of these parts, I'll just use cheats, and then I won't get aggravated like everybody else that I can see who's just tearing their hair out. I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to have fun, so I'm going to go ahead and use the tools and the cheats and all that, and not sweat it. But then I built myself a repro cart and tried to play it on the real hardware, and then I realized that there really wasn't any way around it. I do have a Game Genie, but that only gets you... I don't know. Actually, no, my Game Genie doesn't work. That's the problem. So, yeah, I just realized that, trying to play it through it on a real cart with all the limitations of the original hardware, it just wasn't fun because it was so stinking hard. So that's a good trick right there to sneak around that corner. There's another one of those right there, the stairs, where the stairs themselves work just fine, but the tiles above or beside the doorway don't have the right priority. So yeah, back to playing it on real hardware. It was just, I ran into basically every single one of the complaints that anybody else has ever had about this game. A lot of them are pretty valid, so that's a lot of the reason why I wanted to make this update. Both for the difficulty and for some of the new features, like the MSU1 audio, because I actually put together a collection of a bunch of cons patches for the original game, and just, basically made A Link to the Past with some of the extra stuff, like the upgraded Pegasus boots and the MSU1 audio and being able to break the pots with your sword and all that kind of stuff. Then I came back to play this and I realized that I missed having those features, so I wanted to add those to this game, and I wanted to tackle the difficulty curve. And then I also wanted to try and fix some bugs. So that's pretty much what I'm shooting for here, is bug fixes, difficulty smoothing, and then the new features. So that is why I am not doing a dungeon level, because that just isn't what I wanted to do. I don't have that kind of time, I don't have that kind of motivation, and I'm probably not all that great of a dungeon designer anyway, so I'm just gonna stick to, I like to say in the industry, stick to your core competencies. So that's what I'm doing. Sticking to what I'm good at. And so far so good on that. Other than the silly mistakes like what I did to the shovel yesterday. That was basically the result of me copying and pasting code to a new location, and one of my addresses was hard-coded. So I moved it to a new location, and one of the jumps was still pointing at the old code location, and so the game tried to jump into an invalid address and just ended up in an endless loop. And that is why you always label your jumps. Hard-coding addresses may be easier and faster, but it can come back to bite you. Just out of curiosity, here we go. This is just cheap, I know. But, it's fun. Okay. Alright, so that's why I have 2 fairies. I probably could have avoided that hit, but I was feeling lazy. So once you've killed 1 or 2 of them, then the rest become very easy, because it's only 12 hits with the boomerang, as opposed to 36 with a small sword. And so once you make yourself a nice hole, then you have some place to stand while you attack the others. And then with the boomerang, the last one becomes just laughably easy, because you can just sit here and nail him from across the pit. So Mothula has a bug. Bug. Okay, well, puns aside, there is a bug where, there we go. So eventually, Mothula just stops firing. And I'm not sure if just there's a counter that isn't getting reset somewhere. And so like maybe they run out of sprite slots, I'm not sure. Okay, and that's why I have 2 fairies. Save again. I'm gonna go get the Pegasus boots, and then I think I'll get the rest of the Wishing Well upgrades, and then I might call it a night. So that's interesting. The chain chomp is actually moving, which it should be able to. So I'm curious if that has something to do with my speed patch, or if that's a fast ROM bug, or I don't know. I'll have to do some code bisecting. See if I can track down the exact cause of that. Here are the upgraded Pegasus boots. They're kind of crazy because you can pretty much just keep running indefinitely until you run into something. Although one caveat is that any stairs that slow you down, like this is probably, yeah, so these are a good example. Any stairs where you walk up them slowly, they will stop you unless you hold the D-pad in the direction that you're running, like that. And this is also true of the Lumberjack's tree. Although, I don't remember whether or not that's actually accessible in this game. I know the Lumberjacks are in the Misty Forest, but I don't remember whether or not the tree that they're cutting down acts like it does in Link to the Past. I'll have to check that out later. not sure what causes that. But I don't care enough to try and track that down. Chances are that probably happens in the original game too, so. So at this point I'm just going to go and get those upgrades and then call it a night, so. Unless you're really interested in watching me talk to the fairy over and over and over and over again, then, you know, feel free to take off, or, you know, if you're watching this on YouTube later, you can skip to the next one once I, you know, get that uploaded. Once there is a next one, I should say. In the meantime, here we go. Oh. Okay, so it looks like you might have to be up just a little bit further in order for it to automatically trigger. But if you're up here, right up against the edge, then it should automatically, there we go, yep. Oh, another quick fix that I can show you. The color of Link's face, when it turns red like that because he's pushing on things. In 1.1, you can see it here too. In 1.1, they used the wrong color for his face, and once you got the Goron's bracelet, which is the gloves in this game, then it actually would change the palette on your face because they used the color that was actually, they would change color depending on whether or not you had the gloves, and instead of turning red, your face would turn silver. And it looked really weird. You had these big, like, silver stars for eyes. So I just repixeled this face so that the colors turned out right. got all the bombs, now we just have 2 arrow upgrades to go. So now that that's done, really the only other thing you ever really need money for is for buying potions. Other than that, oh, actually, no, that's not true. You do, oh, why did I just grab them all? I needed to catch them. So actually, you do need another 500 rupees for, to buy the Hylian shield in the Icy World. So that's actually something that's good to go, or to have some rupees to spare. So you know what, now that I've thought of it, I'm actually going to go back and get those. Well, first I'm going to save and quit. Then I'm going to go get 500 rupees. Or, 450. Like that. And then we'll call it a night. You can actually keep running between screens too, which is neat. So really the only thing that stops you is if you run into something. Or if you run into one of those staircases. Hey, you can do that, so that's cool. Alright, 2 more trips, and then I'm out of here. So, quit. I'm gonna call it a night. So, see you next time.